Hello everyone. We are having the discussion about enhanced ER model, enhanced entity relationship model. So the last thing we are going to know about is categories or union type. So for all the example we saw that all the superclass and subclass relationship we have seen so far, they have actually a single superclass. So So for all the examples was like that, we have a superclass, and then from superclass we can have multiple subclass, like multiple subclass, and here it can be disjoint or overlapping. Okay, but here we are going to see a different type of specialization or generalization where we are going to see that uh, an example of shared subclass means we can have a one subclass, but one subclass can have multiple superclass. All right, now the original ER diagram will look different, but here we are going to say that it's going to be a shared subclass. So a shared subclass means that there is going to be more than one distinct superclass or subclass relationship. Now each relationship will have a single superclass, but the subclass will be shared between all those superclass. Now it is going to actually create a inheritance, but this inheritance is going to be known as multiple inheritance. Okay, now there could be some scenario we may have to model a single superclass subclass relationship with more than one superclass. All right, so this special scenario, this special modeling is known as a category or union type. So first let's see one example, then we are going to have a clear idea what does that mean. Now let's see, for example, we have a database for vehicle registration. Okay, so for each vehicle there is a owner. So each vehicle there is a owner. Now this owner can be a person, bank, or a company. All right, so now you can see that the owner can be a person, bank, and company. Okay, so this is look like that. Let's see a person. A person's attribute is SSN name, license number, address. So bank is actually a completely different type of entity. So banks they do not need to have any common attribute. So bank is a completely different type of entity. So where bank has like bank name and address. And company is also a completely different type of entity. A company will have attribute like the name and address. All right, but when we are talking about a vehicle owner can be a person, a bank, or a company. Okay, so here what actually we are going to do, we are going to create a union of these three different entities. Okay, so what we can do actually, we are having this bank here, we are having this person and company. Okay, so we are saying that the owner can be either bank, person, or the company. So here what actually we can do here, we are going to create a union of these three entity. Okay, union of these three entity, and then we are going to create a subclass of owner. Okay, so now owner is actually a subclass of the union of these three entity. Okay, so here difference between the regular subclass superclass relationship is that you can see that in regular subclass superclass relationship, when we have a subclass and superclass, So the subclass actually, the subclass inherits every properties from the superclass. Okay. All right. So here the owner means actually the union of these three entity. Okay. So the union of these three entity, and we are saying that the owner is actually the subclass. Owner is a subclass of union of these three entities. All right. Now owner will actually inherit only one of them. Okay. So if owner is a person, then owner will have every attribute from the person. If owner is a bank, then owner will have every attribute from the bank. If owner is a company, then he will inherit every attribute from the company. So at a time, the owner, although the owner is actually having multiple superclass, but the thing is that we can visualize this as like a categorization. Owner is actually being categorized into three entities, and here these three entities are actually can be completely different. They do not have to have any common attribute. Okay. So at a time, owner will inherit the properties, owner will inherit the attributes only from one superclass. All right. So depending on what type of owner is, depending on that, owner is going to inherit the attributes from that superclass, either from person, bank, or company. So here the main gist thing is that, main summary is that what we are doing, we are here creating multiple different entities, and we are creating a union of them, and from the union we are creating a subclass from it. Okay, so owner is a subclass of union of person, bank, and company. All right. So here the category or union type is the owner is created to represent a subset of the union of these three superclass: company, bank, and person. And a category member must exist in at least one of these superclasses, which means that the owner has to exist in at least one of the superclass, means the owner has to be either person, bank, or company. Okay. So at the same way, we are actually showing the registered vehicle here also, like we have a car type vehicle and a truck type vehicle. So here you can see that we are creating this is another different type of modeling, where we are creating a union of all the car and all the truck, and we are saying that the registered vehicle is a subset of the union of car and truck. Okay. So that was all from chapter 8, means from the enhanced entity relationship model. So in this chapter we saw the subclass superclass relationship, specialization and generalization, and inheritance. Okay. And this chapter is mostly the enhanced version of ER modeling. So in ER modeling, mostly we learned about all the basic of entity relationship model, and in this chapter we saw some enhanced version, some augmented version of ER modeling. Okay. All right. So in the next chapter we are going to talk about how we can from the having the ER model or EER model, how we can map this ER model to the relationship model, to the relational model.